First of all, we were able to get the creative arts resolved, so that was presented. So the only other thing that we were then now dealing with was the telecast. And with 9/11, the telecast was off the books and we were going to put it someplace else. Well, unfortunately, the place that we put it was the day that the Bush administration decided to invade Afghanistan. I believe it was October 7th, if I'm correct. We had the salads on the tables. We had the water in the glasses. We had everything ready to go. And the show, of course, was going to start at 5. And I think that it was about 2 that afternoon that the rumbling started about whether or not we should go forward with the show. This was a CBS year, and Leslie Moonves was out on the golf course, and he was called, and he came over to the Shrine, which is where we were having it at that particular time. Our chair was discussing it with Les. Our president at that time, Jim Chabin, was discussing it with him. And the feeling was that and this was totally wrong, the feeling was that this was going to disrupt and go through the entire rest of the Sunday programming, Sunday network programming, that this was the first domino to fall, if you will, in a whole series of dominoes. No domino fell except for the Emmy Awards. Programming that came on after 6 or 7 or whatever, 7 o'clock on Sunday with 60 Minutes, that programming did not change one bit. The only thing that changed was that the Emmys were pulled. We never should have done it. We should have stuck to the schedule, and we should have gone forward in a very sober and very considerate and I think appropriately celebratory for what we were doing. That this is the medium, the most powerful medium in the history of the world, and we are honoring it tonight, and we're doing it in a way that in no way is going to be disrespectful to the world situation and the war that has now begun. There was a way that could be done. Unfortunately, we didn't, and probably the saddest person was Don Mischer, who was in my trailer at that time, and he had another obligation to do another show later on, and so he was unable to stay with it, and he was trying to explain how there were elements that were in the show that hopefully they could still use as we went forward. Okay, so that was that. We now decide, and there was also a parallel event taking place in New York. I think it was at the Ed Sullivan Theater or someplace back there, and that went to hell. So then we reschedule again. Ellen, faithful to the core, said, okay, I'll come back again. And that's when she came out with the famous dress. It was some sort of a duck or something that she was wearing. And is it okay to wear a goose after Labor Day, or whatever her joke was? And, of course, she had the greatest line of the evening, which is, this ought to really piss off the Taliban. A gay woman talking in front of a room full of Jews. That brought down the house, and that set the tone for the rest of the evening. And we got through, and Gary Smith was the producer that year. And the surprise at the end was that Barbara Streisand came out and sang that very moving as we walked through the storm and all of that. And, you kind of look back on it and said, well, maybe that was a little bit much. But at that stage of the game, nobody knew what was going to go on, and nobody knew anything. And it was, a horribly emotionally difficult time for this country. And so it was, 2 strikes and you hit a homer. So it was nice. Usually when you have a 0-2 count, you don't come through with a good swat at the end, but we did. So we got through it. I'm glad. It was really dreadful. This year, I have to tell you, I was very anxious on Emmy Day, because Trump had been making all kinds of noise about Iran, and he was going to get these guys. And I thought, I told Julie, I said, if we go through this again with an invasion of a Middle Eastern country, I hope, and it was CBS again, No, it's Fox this year, and I said I hope that those people buck up and keep us going, because there's a way to handle this that we did not handle the last time we did it.